Welcome to Gun Thoughts! Here at our Thanksgiving table.
Welcome to our Thanksgiving table on this Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving today. Thanksgiving, the Day of Truths, as it is known. Everybody knows that on Thanksgiving, it is a Thanksgiving tradition to tell your truths to the world.
To your family at the dinner table.
Down in the comments section below, leave a truth.
Yep.
Let your family know how you feel about the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Just to give a little preface, we've been shooting a lot of SuperVel over the past couple of years.
SuperVel.
A lot. We have spent way too much money on it.
Right.
And we thought that we would email them and maybe see if they could do something for us. So they sent us some ammo to test.
And to be clear, this is pretty much the entirety of the ammo. They sent us like 200 rounds of their defensive loadings. Second, we are making this video in the hopes that SuperVel sends us more free ammo, because honestly, we like their shit, for the most part.
Well, I can tell everyone my SuperVel truths on Thanksgiving today, the Day of Truths. Personally, in the last couple of years, I have shot tens of thousands of rounds of their remanufactured 9mm, a lot of the 147 grain, and even more of the 124 grain. And my experience has been positive enough that I keep shooting and buying it. It shoots pretty well. It's not too dirty. The occasional issue that I have with the remanufactured stuff is with my Shadow 2s, about 1 in 3,000 rounds does not plunk test into the barrels. And you will know when you find one of those because they don't fire and they kind of lock the gun up, which, you know, is not the most ideal. For just training scenarios, it does not matter at all. If I'm going to a match, I personally do plunk test SuperVel before I shoot it there. But I continue to shoot it because the cost is good and generally it works really well. I did have a couple of issues with primers not going off with a certain batch of ammo. And when I reached out to them as a customer, they didn't know who I was. They still don't know who I am. Maybe they'll never know who I am, but they made that right for me right away. They swapped the ammo out. Yeah, it was just a smooth experience. So
A smooth experience.
Yeah, a smooth experience. And that is my SuperVel truth on Thanksgiving, the Day of Truths. Oh yeah, I also have to run extra power extractor springs in my Shadow 2s to make it extract reliably, but I don't know if that's their fault.
Race guns.
Yeah, I basically have only exclusively shot the 147 and the 115 grain reman. Honestly, it's pretty good. It is slightly dirtier than stuff like Norma, not as dirty as stuff like Winchester White Box. In terms of reloading the brass, the reman stuff especially doesn't size super great, doesn't gauge super great, which might be the issues with the plunk testing, but it's also super cheap reman that shoots really soft and reliably for the most part. And
it does not squib.
Yeah, have no squibs yet.
No squibs. Yeah.
And yeah, it's honestly just like, it would be nice to have, you know, potentially a lot more SuperVel for potentially $0.
I mean, I would love to have more SuperVel in my life.
For $0.
Even for $5. My SuperVel truth is simply that I have not had any ammo-related malfunctions over a couple years of shooting 147s and 115s. I did buy a case of their 223 reman, but I haven't really shot it yet. So if my gun blows up in the next 6 months, you'll know why. It's never my fault.
We know that today is Thanksgiving, the Day of Truths, but it is also Thanksgiving, the Day of Gluttony. And some of you might have forgotten to prepare some tasty treats for your guests today. So do not fret. The first thing you need to do is run down to your local grocery store and get yourself some pineapples, and we're gonna teach you how to make some Thanksgiving appetizers in a blast.
Up first.
As we're shooting?
Up first. Wait. Prepared for this. Up
Thank you.
first.
We have a 115 grain subsonic solid copper hollow point from SuperVel. This is our first recipe right here. You're gonna go buy a pineapple, which as we all know is a 1-to-1 replica of most ballistic gelatin, and shows you perfect terminal ballistics in terms of how far it explodes. Then you shoot said pineapple. This is part of the recipe, by the way, with a subsonic bullet. It's quiet, so nobody knows that you are shooting and / preparing said pineapple very quietly. And this pineapple is now edible, as you will see in the following clip. And now that you have witnessed said clip of the violent but also quiet destruction of that pineapple, you now know that the pineapple dish we made is very tasty and good. I'm not a very good cook, as you can tell, but I can still prepare things. Ergo, the subsonic pineapple combination not only makes a delicious, tasty treat, but it also kills the pineapple dead. And as you all know, pineapples are a 1-to-1 perfect terminal ballistic performance indicator, as long as you don't research it too hard.
That was a lot of words, and I know that you guys don't like that. So, what's up next was the 9mm Luger Plus P solid copper hollow point 115 grain at 1,250 FPS. This is for you manly men who don't care if people know that you're preparing last minute pineapple dishes. This one makes more bang, but that's because, as you can see on the screen right now, it also makes that pineapple pop. That's really all I've got for you. Did you not see how much it blew that up?
Wow, it popped.
That sucker got juiced. It juiced him.
It sure did. And for those of you who like to eat seasoned food, I have a spicy recipe for you. This is a 90 grain, super fast jacketed hollow point.
Super fast.
Super fast. When you mix this with your pineapple, you get a burst of flavor.
You suck.
I got some dirt on my face. And it sure does get the job done quickly. However, it is a little bit on the louder side, but you know, it's worth it.
You're worth it.
We should mention that the cleanup with this guy is definitely going to be a little bit more.
It put up those
Tarps.
What if people go home and they put tarps on the floor of their kitchen and they just start shooting foods and then
they eat it?
Then
hopefully they would use the solid copper hollow points, not this one, because it has lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although it adds flavor.
It does. It's sweet, subtly sweet, but the pineapple's already sweet, so I would just
don't want to be too sweet.
Yeah, I would go with the.
You're smart. You're
the copper. Next up was the main course. And for the main course, we decided to prepare for you guys a Thanksgiving classic.
We all know that we have our favorite recipes. Sometimes you go to the store and you try and find ingredients, and some of them are the same, but some of them are same, but different. Today we wanted to explore what happened when we added a rifle bullet to our favorite dish, watermelon in car seat wrapped in wet-aged pork ribs. First up, we wanted to see how this 62 grain solid copper hollow point helped us create the blast of flavor that we needed in our food.
Well, let's check the.
Oh no,
that's not good.
is that bad?
Uh-oh.
I thought you said it'd be fine.
Well, who wants to pull the meat off of there?
Is that watermelon or pork?
It's both. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh no. So those just smoked right through the pork ribs
Shocking.
and made us like a very disgusting smoothie of melon pork juice. Next up, we wanted to compare how this 62 grain solid copper hollow point compares to some of the more popular defensive ammo options in America, such as Wolf steel case. So what we did was we put 3 rounds of Wolf steel case through our pork ribs into a fresh watermelon.
We're gonna compare SuperVel against the most popular home defense round in America. Steel case.
Yep.
Oh, that didn't do as much then. That's a familiar smell though, that steel case Wolf smell.
I can see the holes with the thermal.
Can you? That's
Yeah.
cool. So let's take a look. Honestly,
Let's load up some more ammo and do different ammo. I want this to explode now.
honestly, not as good.
Very
Yeah.
disappointing.
Same smoothie though, so if you're only trying to go for a smoothie, it'll work.
But yeah, honestly, the steel case was, I'm kind of surprised right
Only
now.
half of the nutrients.
I honestly thought the steel case was going to do the exact same thing at this distance, but it didn't.
It
Let's do
absolutely
Hornady
did.
Black.
Okay. Well, it was already a compromised melon, but let's go look. The smoothie has intensified. I still think that the SuperVel wrecked the first melon a little bit harder.
I agree. I think the hollow point and the SuperVel really did
I
the
have
thing.
One more thing, guys. Let me go look here.
Yeah, I guess the hollow point might actually
works?
do something.
I don't know. Sounds fake.
I mean, like, it's weird because I'm like still not convinced even though I just saw it happen. So neither of those were a hollow point projectile. And I mean, quite honestly, I believed personally that my favorite defensive load, the Wolf steel case, at that distance was going to do the exact same thing. And frankly, if I hadn't seen it, I probably wouldn't have believed it, but 3 rounds of this, 3 rounds of steel case did not slush that watermelon quite as well as these hollow points did. So I guess these actually are doing something, which is surprising to me, but you know, at the same time, why else would there be a hole in it?
I actually read some about this on their website in between
What did you read?
then and now.
I can't read.
I Control A the entire page and then use the handicap thing that reads it to you. These bullets are scored on the inside so that once it defeats the first barrier, aka your wet-aged pork ribs,
Oh shoot.
all of the little scored parts pedal out so that it dumps as much energy as it can as quickly as it can.
It turned out that this solid copper hollow point is an absolute melon slusher. However, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows with the 62 grain solid copper hollow point 223.
What I found is that I'm not very good at shooting. But mostly, I found that at 100 yards with this ammo, I was able to get just under 4-minute group. After being slightly concerned that I decided to shoot some other control groups at 50 to ensure that I was still a member of Mensa. This is the 50-yard group with the SuperVel. This is another 62 grain boat tail hollow point, a Frontier, which obviously, as you can see, grouped a lot better, as well as 75 grain
Match King.
Match King.
Sierra Match King.
All of this was shot from the mag, so not in a sled or anything.
When he says from the mag, obviously he means resting on the mag, not
Yeah.
the bullets came out of the mag, you
But also,
idiot.
Like
the
you took
bullets
a nail and you put it
also
in the
did
primer.
come out of the mag. So, for me, and for a premium bullet,
Yeah, let's bear in mind that these bad boys cost about $2 per round.
so especially for a premium bullet like this, for that cost, I hoped to have it be a little bit more consistent.
The question is that accuracy and consistency due to the scoring that makes this bullet such a juicer? When we look at them up close right here, not even going to try and bother showing you this on the camera. It's almost imperceptible. Can
you see
each projectile does look sort
Slightly
of different.
different.
Yeah, the tip of each projectile looks different. So we're wondering if that is the reason why these don't group quite as well.
Now for you, if you are cooking within your house, if you are cooking out of a bag that is stored inside of your truck, which is always a good idea, anything, you know, in between 0 to 100, you'll probably still be able to get good long distance juicing effect. But, you know, it's just something to consider. And maybe your gun and maybe your barrel will love that.
Well, just what we're trying to say is make sure the melon that you're trying to juice is at least a 4 MOA target, in which case these should do fine. But personally, for me, between the cost and the accuracy, I'm a little bit hesitant to recommend these, even though they did do, like, honestly really remarkable damage. I'm just a little bit not fully sold on these as I am on the 9mm loads.
I agree.
Totally agree. All right, you might be wondering how we're gonna outdo ourselves now. Well, here's the one coolest thing we've ever done in our entire lives, the pumpkin pie plate rack.
Well, when you have all of your friends and family at the dinner table with
Hundreds
you,
of friends.
hundreds of
family.
friends, hundreds of family, one of them of all time, you need to feed them all dessert. Everyone has a little sweet tooth and they need to go off with a bang.
Thanksgiving, and they're gonna demand it.
They all said their truths, and now you need to put a little whipped cream on some pies.
They said their truths, and now you need to put some pie in their mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
You need to make a hole in that pie, if you know what I mean.
Right.
but you know, you forgot to put the whipped cream on the pie before everyone came over, so you need to do it
Silently.
silently. Pumpkin pie plate crack.
Just shoot them. Those are pretty quiet.
That is pretty quiet.
Look at those pies. Let's look at his handiwork. Boom. Oh. Yeah, that looks like you could do something bad to these. You know. What do you think about how quiet those were?
They were really quiet. An ideal tool
For what?
for making
An orifice.
an orifice for your pumpkin pies once they've been frozen, then you put them in the microwave.
Like your mom's asleep and you really want to use that pumpkin pie for something, but you don't want to wake any.
As you can see, I'm gonna demonstrate the proper way to make a nice, neat little hole in your pumpkin pies so that you can put that dollop of cream in there.
I mean, was it the proper way? You like
Yeah.
missed one of the
Yeah,
pies.
you're supposed to miss one.
Oh, and then come back and shoot
Yeah.
it.
A
Okay.
neat little hole, too.
Yeah. And you're also supposed to edge hit some of them.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. Dessert is served.
follow me for more cooking content.
I think we've reached the end of this Thanksgiving special episode, an episode of truths, our SuperVel truths. So, to cap things off and to keep our audience unconfused, I think that we probably need to put like a numerical rating on SuperVel.
Okay.
Otherwise, because we said that we thought that the
One thing
the
was
one thing
a little
was not
bad.
ideal, they're gonna think that we think that the whole thing is bad, which is not true.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna give SuperVel a 4 out of 5 SuperVels. I've shot a lot of SuperVel, and I'm gonna keep shooting more SuperVel. Regardless of if they give it to me or not, I'll still shoot it.
Unless they raise the price for him specifically.
Unless they raise the price for me specifically, in which case I'd have to find something else. But I don't want to do that, so don't do that. 4 out of 5 SuperVels.
For me, it's 8.5 SuperVels
Out
of 10.
Okay.
Because from our combined experiences, customer service good, they their ammo is affordable, and we have found it to be like 99% reliable.
nobody is perfect, and that's why.
Except for us.
Except for us, and that's why they're not getting a perfect rating. They're just getting a good rating.
Yeah.
How many SuperVels out of SuperVel would you give them?
I give them 11 SuperVels out of 15 SuperVels.
Oh, wow. Perfect,
Okay.
yeah.
The one detracting factor in my Thanksgiving truth is every time I order ammo on their website, they ask for my credit card number.
That is a problem.
I want that to go away. I want Mr. SuperVel to give me said ammo for free so that I may shoot said ammo into the dirt, food, trash, and perhaps car seats.
That would be a 16 out of 15 SuperVel.
Yeah, honestly, we aren't sponsored by them or anything. They sent us 160 rounds of free ammo, and
That is certainly not enough to buy our opinions, quite frankly.
But yet, here we are making this video because Mr. SuperVel tear down the checkout wall. Yes, give the ammo, please. The woman's good. She's cool. She's hot. This is like your girlfriend.
This is cool and not cringe at all. It's totally good.
We love it.
Yep, it's cool.
Damn, dude, I bet she's a really good shooter.
30 out of... This has devolved into like something, just a lot of stuff that we cannot post. So I think that generally means it's about the end of the video.
Yeah.
So just to wrap things up, Mr. SuperVel, tear down that checkout wall for us, not for everyone else. They can pay still. We would just prefer not to. And yeah, you know.
And if you guys do decide to buy SuperVel, write in the notes. Sponsor Gun Thoughts, please.
Yes.
If you could do that for us,
That's a good.
that would help us.
Idea.
Yeah. So on the day of Thanksgiving, when you're giving thanks, make sure to thanks Gun Thoughts by putting Gun Thoughts in your order notes when you buy some SuperVel. If you do,
And
this
maybe
is not a
they'll
sales
see it,
pitch
yeah.
because if you don't need SuperVel, don't buy it. But if you do need some ammo, put us in the order notes. Even if it's not SuperVel, actually. If you buy
wherever
ammo,
you buy anywhere.
Wherever you buy anything, put Gun Thoughts down in the order notes, just because. And you know, if you were also looking to thank us, we have a Patreon. We're super inactive on there. That's a disclaimer ahead of time. It does support the content though. We also have, what else do we have?
Slate Black Industries for M-Lock accessories and more. We
Grips
have
and more.
code THOUGHTS or THOUGHT at checkout.
Yep, it's one
not
or the
sure.
other. It's one or the other.
It's you know, it's one of them. Just type them in.
It's one or
And
multiple.
In
And
the
the funny
notes
thing is-
too, put make SuperVel sponsor Gun Thoughts
Yes.
when you order from Slate Black Industries. Same thing with the Hunter Constantine belt.
Yep, if you need a EDC belt that can work with regular pants, it can work with sweatpants.
Can you pull that down a little bit lower, please?
Yeah. It can
little
work.
bit lower?
Yeah.
A little bit lower.
Yeah.
A little bit lower.
Yeah. It can work with
And
regular
cut the camera.
pants. It can work with sweatpants. If you need our favorite EDC belt on the market, made by a friend of the channel, Hunter Constantine, the code is either Thoughts or Thought.
And also in the order notes,
Put Gun Thoughts, Gun Thoughts
SuperVel
sponsor
yeah.
SuperVel. Yeah, in the order notes.
In fact,
as well.
anytime you purchase anything from here on out, from any website within any industry, SuperVel sponsor Gun Thoughts.
in the order notes down
Dear
below.
Coles, SuperVel needs to sponsor
Yep.
Gun Thoughts.
Walmart,
Costco, Target.
pickup order.
Yep, anything. Anything. Anyway, goodbye. Last part.
What's up, Kings?
Perineal-
Your pineal glands calcified due to drinking tap water. Do you need to stare at the sun more?
We all know that you've got Wolf Gold in your pantry, some Wolf Steel in your pantry.
You got.
Is it a good
What else do
substitute?
you have in your pantry?
Salt and pepper and Szechuan peppers and... I really wanted to buy it after I saw the performance.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was honestly very cool.
And then
I
grouped it, and I'm a little
now
autistic
he's
about
scared.
that, and now I'm scared.
He's scared that a coyote's gonna run up to him and he's gonna be like, tsh,
Yep.
tsh, and it's just gonna be like bullets going. Phew,
Yeah, exactly.
phew, and then it's gonna just like get on him and it's gonna be like holding him down and just like screaming in his face like ah, and just bah, 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 bah.
And I'm like, no!
And there's nothing he can do because the ammo
Nothing.
grouped for MOA.
Exactly.
So that is distressing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And we hate to see it.
a little bit problematic,
Yeah.
but a lot of damage.